I have come once again to complain about the show that I swear I actually do really like, Helluva Boss. Specifically, I have a really big problem with Stryker. And while I talk about this, keep in mind that it's from a place of care towards this show, and the fact that Stryker used to be my favorite character in the show. And first off, no, I'm not just going to complain about how much I miss Norman Reedus and then leave it at that. I think I prefer Norman Reedus as the voice actor, but I think that the current voice actor is doing a fine job. No, I feel that there is a drastic tone difference between Stryker in Season 1 and Stryker in Season 2. Stryker in Season 1 of Helluva Boss was portrayed as an actual badass, with skills on the same level if not higher than Blitz. And along with that, characters actually took him seriously. Granted, it's Helluva Boss, so as serious as the show allowed itself to get at the time, but serious nonetheless. He was built up to be a real threat, taking down Moxie and Millie genuinely effortlessly, and going hand to hand with Moxie and Blitz, almost winning, until he let his guard down. And one more thing, it's seeded through the episode he's in that he has a particular distaste for blue bloods, as he puts it. Demons higher up on the demon hierarchy than him, while being stuck working for one himself to get the supplies he needs. Which is a completely understandable motivation. He gave off the vibe that he wasn't going to be a character we saw much of, but when we did, shit was going to get fucked up. I was super excited to see him again. I associated him with the more serious side of the show, but then he came back. When Stryker returns in Season 2 of Helluva Boss, he feels like a joke. There's a song that plays about how cool he is, which I guess is fitting because he does have quite the ego, but I couldn't help but feel that the time used for the song could have been used to flesh out his scenes a bit more. After the song, Stryker takes a now captured Stolas to kill him, but he wants to torture him a bit, simply to take his frustrations out at Demon Royalty. But what happens when he begins to torture Stolas? It turns into a joke.
Blitz handles me rougher than that in bed. Nice try. Blitz's knife is bigger and hits so much deeper.
This really bothered me, because now I didn't really view Stryker as a threat because Stolas didn't either, ruining any sort of tension or hype towards Stolas' rescue. And then, when Stryker has to fight Millie and Moxie when they come in to save Stolas, they dispatch of him relatively easily and unharmed. And when Stryker gets the upper hand in the fight, it becomes a joke again.
Oh, I remember how easy you are to choke the life out of, little one. Oh, harder.
And this just nullified him as a threat to me at this point, and any badass part of his nature was gone. And along with that, he gets fired? His employer now needs Stolas alive, sort of making Stryker unable to be written back into the story cleanly as a threat. Which also, I felt it was really out of character for Stryker to just listen to Stella. Because you'd think he'd prioritize getting some royal revenge over listening to a royal. But overall, I just felt that this was wasted potential of what had the setup to be an awesome season finale type story. But then he returned again. 2 episodes later? And was like a non-factor. He was just sort of there for tension, even though he lost that in the previous episode. Stryker shows up to Moxie's dad looking for work, stumbles across Fizz and Blitzo, and kidnaps them in like 3 seconds as part of a joke, and then returns again later in a setup that could almost convince me that he was justified to be in the episode, but then just gets cut off halfway through talking, ruining most of that scene. And then he only appears later to be distracted by a song and then get his ass beat again. If you took Stryker out of the episode, literally nothing would have changed. Just replace him kidnapping Fizz and Blitz with Moxie's dad's goons. I don't know why, but the idea that Stryker actually got distracted by that song annoys me a bit. I feel like he'd be the kind of character to cut him off saying something like, "No more singing for you, Lulu loser," and then immediately make a break for Blitz. I think it would have been better to stage this all as just a plan for Moxie's dad, and as the song went on, having Moxie's dad try and snap his goons out of it while Fizz kept singing his song. My main gripe is that I feel like Vivziepop isn't sure what they're doing with Stryker. It seemed like they had a plan in his starting episode, but then decided to dumb him down from a badass with serious story implications to like just some guy. I don't really know how to describe what he is now. I feel it would have been better to have Stryker's arc of kidnapping Stolas be a season finale, leading to Blitz coming to terms with the fact that he does care about Stolas, and have Moxie still hate Stryker's guts from his previous episode with Stryker, And Millie, I don't really know, as I talked about in a previous video, she doesn't really have a character, and just have that be the season finale. I think the main problem with all of this is the fact that Vivziepop has a problem with trying to shove too much into a single episode, and having, honestly, overly fast-paced stories. But that's about it. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on Stryker as a character, and I really do like this show, and respect the hell out of it. It's been an honor, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.